You probably won't believe it, but one lukewarm cup of gas station coffee and a 2 a.m. phone call blew Ava Brooks's ordinary life wide open. While you're listening, drop your city in the comments. Let's see how far this story travels. November in Timber Creek, Oregon means perpetual drizzle, a cedar-scented chill, and fog that creeps through every cracked window like an uninvited guest. On the 5th floor of Jefferson Hall, the oldest dorm at Pacific Northwest State College, junior biotech major Ava Brooks sat cross-legged on a sagging mattress, counting her last coins on a spiral notebook. Her phone buzzed with a push alert, campus billing, rent due in 4 days. She swiped it away, already painfully aware of the countdown. The fluorescent desk lamp hummed, its flicker painted nervous shadows across cinder block walls plastered with Bio 101 posters, concert flyers, and a single Polaroid of Ava's mom on graduation day smiling, alive. Long before the car accident that left Ava an orphan at 12. On her wobbling particle board desk lay a neat grid of envelopes. Dorm rent, overdue. $540. November 30th. Wi-Fi share. $35. December 3rd. Lab fee IOU. $180. Hold on record. Phone plan. $42. November 28th. Insider corduroy wallet. $14.27 in crumpled bills and a Tri-County bus pass expiring tomorrow. A candle labeled Pacific Rainstorm sputtered its best to mask the communal bathroom odor wafting through the hallway. Ava's roommate, Maya Delgado, a journalism major with an ever-present beanie, burst in clutching a stack of newspapers. Front page scoop, she announced. The cafeteria's using powdered eggs. Scandalous, right? Ava forced a laugh, pocketing her last dime before Maya noticed. By day, Ava mastered PCR cycles and cell culture safety videos. By night, she slung cappuccinos at the campus bakery, bread and salt. The place smelled like caramelized sugar at 6 a.m. and burnt yeast by closing. Tonight, the ancient convection oven misfired, flames licking the tray of almond croissants until they resembled charcoal fossils. Docked from everyone's paycheck, the manager, Colin, barked, wiping sweat from his forehead. His expression said policy, not sorry. Ava's coworker Jalen, a pre-med sophomore, mouthed ridiculous, but everyone punched out without protest. They needed the shifts too badly. The rain had thickened to a silver sheet by the time Ava locked the back door. Her breath clouded the air. She zipped her thrift store parka to the chin, shoved burnt sugar hair under a hood, and started the mile-long trek to campus. Along Sawyer Lane, where moss-covered sidewalks cracked like old vinyl records, Ava spotted a soggy flyer taped to a leaning light pole. The streetlight flickered as if on cue, bright, spotlighting the bold red text. Donate plasma. Earn $120 today. Lifeline Center 14, Pine Avenue, walk-ins welcome, photo ID required. $120 equaled almost a week's groceries and half her rent. The flyer's bottom edge curled, waterlogged but legible. She tore it down, folded it twice, and slipped it into her backpack, where it joined dog-eared notebooks, a broken mechanical pencil, and a lone tube of cherry red lipstick she hadn't worn since high school prom. If it stings, so what, she thought. 6 tubes of blood for a shot at breathing room. Saturday morning, a slate-gray dawn. Ava rode the 6 a.m. bus past shuttered lumber mills to Lifeline, a squat brick building left over from Timber Creek's timber boom. A weathered neon sign buzzed. We're open. Inside, the linoleum was scuffed to ghostly gray, and the air smelled of hospital sanitizer and vending machine espresso grounds. A laminated poster featured a smiling college kid flexing a bandaged arm beneath the slogan, "I'm a donor, are you?" A whiteboard listed today's incentives, $120 plus free movie tickets. Ava imagined a rare night out at the Indie Theater downtown, popcorn drenched in fake butter. The intake nurse, a red-haired woman in cat-patterned scrubs named Lisa, handed Ava a clipboard thicker than a freshman textbook. Ever donated plasma before? No, ma'am. Any tattoos in the last 12 months? No. Piercings. Just the ears 5 years ago. Caffeine this morning? Just bad dorm coffee. Lisa winked. We've all been there. A bespectacled physician, Dr. Evans, listened to Ava's lungs, tapped a stethoscope on his palm, and scrolled through her vitals on a tablet. Blood pressure 110/70, pulse steady. You eat okay. Ava hesitated. Ramen, carrots, tea. He chuckled. Classic college diet. You're good to go. Hydrate afterward, all right? Veteran phlebotomist Gail Turner, silver hair pinned in a bun, guided Ava to a vinyl recliner. First-timer jitters? Maybe a little. Close your eyes. Think about something warm. The oven caught fire last night, Ava quipped. Gail laughed. Then picture a campfire that behaves. The needle slid into Ava's arm with a pinch. A tube filled with ruby red, snaking to a centrifuge that hummed like a distant lawnmower. Minutes stretched like taffy. Rain ticked the window. Ava imagined dropping off rent at the housing office, buying a highlighter pack for biochem, maybe splurging on real cocoa instead of bakery rejects. Exactly 42 minutes later, Gail pressed a kitten print bandage over the puncture. All done, champ. She handed Ava a white envelope. Don't wave your arm around like you're at a rock concert. Outside, drizzle peppered Ava's cheeks. She cracked the envelope, 6 crisp 20s and 2 movie vouchers. For the first time all semester, her shoulders unhitched from her ears. I've got a shot, she thought, tucking the cash into her wallet with reverence usually reserved for graduation diplomas. 3 nights later, Ava stirred a saucepan of bargain mac and cheese in the dorm kitchen. Steam fogged the cracked window. The hallway reeked of microwaved popcorn and midnight cramming. Her phone vibrated. Unknown number, Seattle area code. She thumbed decline. Late-night spam was common, then paused. What if it was the bursar's office? She accepted. Voice, urgent yet warm, Ava Brooks? I'm Dr. Kara Johnson from Novamed Genetics in Harbor City. We analyzed your plasma donation and found a rare polymorphism, S delta 47. We'd like to fly you here for further testing. All expenses covered. Ava blinked, spoon suspended midair. Polymorphism. Think of it as a genetic typo that makes you unusually resistant to certain viruses. Harbor City, Seattle's gleaming biotech district, felt galaxies away. Ava glanced at the peeling paint above the stove, the sticky note that read pay rent or pack. When? Tomorrow, if possible. We'll email the ticket. Ava's mac and cheese bubbled over. She killed the burner. Yes. I can go. Ava barely slept. She packed a single duffel, 2 pairs of jeans, a hoodie, a thrifted blazer just in case, and her mother's silver compass pendant, the one keepsake she never pawned. Maya, bleary-eyed, asked if Ava was eloping. Science emergency, Ava whispered, then left before sunrise. At Timber Creek Regional Airport, 2 gates, 1 coffee cart, she boarded a twin-engine prop plane. Turbulence jolted the cabin. A business consultant beside her said, "Count clouds if you're nervous." Ava counted, 1 towering cumulus, 2 wispy cirrus, 3, 4, until Harbor City's skyline pierced the cloud deck like chrome spikes. Arrival smelled of jet fuel and Cinnabon glaze. A grad student in a charcoal parka held a placard reading Brooks and a caramel latte with a foam heart. Daniel Chin, he introduced himself, extending the drink. Welcome to Novamed. They zipped down I-5 in a self-driving shuttle. Rain-blurred neon signs for sushi bars and TechStart UPS. The Novamed Innovation Tower soon loomed, 32 stories of glass, LED accents pulsing like a heartbeat. A digital banner scrolled "Breakthrough starts here." Inside, marble floors reflected soft blue light. Elevator doors whispered shut. At floor 28, Daniel gestured to double doors embossed with a stylized DNA helix. Professor Stone is waiting. Professor Richard Stone, silver hair and glacier blue eyes, rose from behind a mahogany desk. Nautical charts of the Alabaster Archipelago lined the walls, the site of his famous viral ecology expeditions. Stone, measured tone, thank you for coming, Ava. Your genome is unique, but there's another reason you're here. He tapped a console. A 3D helix spun in midair, splitting into 2 color-coded strands. S delta 47 appears once in 20 million people. The last documented carrier was my wife, Dr. Catherine Stone, who vanished with our 2-year-old daughter during a field expedition 20 years ago. Ava's breath caught. Stone pressed a second button. Her photo floated beside an old family portrait, Catherine, Stone, and a toddler with Ava's almond-shaped eyes. Stone, voice cracking, we ran a mitochondrial DNA match. Probability you're that child, 99.9%. Ava, you're my daughter. Ava gripped the chair back. Memories flashed. A lullaby about northern lights, a woman's hand smelling faintly of sea buckthorn, then foster homes, social workers, a dozen different schools. I need time, she stammered. Stone's eyes glistened, but he nodded. Novamed put Ava in a furnished studio on Pier 9, glass walls, balcony, a view of ferries crossing Puget Sound. The fridge held yogurt, blueberries, and a welcome note. Feel free to request anything else. Ava taped her Jefferson Hall Polaroid to the stainless steel door, a promise not to forget where she came from. At 7 a.m., Ava donned a badge, Junior Researcher Brooks. Dr. Johnson handed her a white coat, nitrile gloves, and an iPad loaded with SOPs. Around here, Johnson said, impossible just means next quarter. The Immuniterra lab was a cathedral of chrome benches, humming incubators, and holographic screens. Ava learned to calibrate pipettes to the microliter, seed HeLa delta cells in 96 well plates, and log every anomaly into the blockchain-secured lab notebook. Evenings, Stone invited her to the rooftop greenhouse. Bonsai pines twisted against grow lamps. Heirloom roses perfumed recycled air. A koi pond rippled under skylights. Stone poured sea buckthorn tea from a thermos, Catherine's favorite, he said, and recounted tales of Arctic storms, phosphorescent plankton, and the day he almost quit science. Ava listened, arms folded to hide trembling hands. 15 scientists, 2 rotating shifts, 1 mission. Craft a protein dubbed S-Shield to mimic S-Delta-47S virus-blocking mojo without altering human DNA. Ava managed temperamental HeLa delta cultures. She nicknamed them the girls. They thrived on 37 degrees Celsius warmth, but rebelled if the CO2 dropped below 5%. Each morning she greeted them, "Morning, girls. Ready to save the world?" Daniel, across the aisle, teased, "Talking to your cells again?" Ava winked. Positive reinforcement. Prototype 1 triggered a cytokine storm in lab mice. Immune systems fried themselves. Prototype 2 was invisible to immune sensors, useless. Prototype 3 killed 3 cell lines outright. Morale tanked. The team survived on vending machine burritos and black coffee. One night, Ava rewrote a messenger RNA sequence on a napkin, substituting a serine for a glycine at position 128. Daniel bribed her with a spicy bean burrito to test it. At 2:47 a.m. the readout beeped. Viral entry blocked. Cell viability 96%. Ava hooped, waking the night janitor, who nearly dropped his mop. 2 months later, while reviewing data, Stone collapsed in the corridor, clutching his chest. Ava, retrieving a flash drive, heard the thud echo off glass. CPR training snapped into muscle memory. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, repeat. Paramedics arrived. Stone survived a massive myocardial infarction. In ICU he rasped, "You saved my life, the way your blood will save others." Ava's tears splashed onto his hospital gown. "Dad, don't scare me like that," she whispered, the word dad foreign but right. 8 months after Stone's heart attack, the team unveiled S-Shield V5, a protein lock that sealed 5 viral entry doors. Lab mice with severe combined immunodeficiency survived infections that once killed them in hours. Survival curves on the screen soared like fireworks. Ava high-fived the girls' incubator. "Ladies, we did it." Dr. Johnson burst into happy tears. Daniel performed an awkward victory dab. To move into human trials, Novamed needed approval from the International Therapeutics Ethics Council. Ava, now lead presenter, crafted a 74-slide deck. Safety data, cost projections, equitable access plan. In Zurich, board members grilled her. Could S-Shield push viruses to evolve? How will you price it in low-income nations? Who owns the patent? You or humanity? Ava answered with data and conviction. Tiered pricing, open-source manufacturing guidelines, a kill-switch peptide to deactivate the protein if needed. Vote: 9 yes, 1 no, 1 abstain. Trials greenlit. The morning after Zurich, Ava's inbox exploded. CNN, BBC, Wired, BuzzFeed. Headlines screamed, "Oregon student takes down deadly viruses." TikTok birthed #Shield Dance, teens twirling like double helices to EDM remixes. But dark corners of the internet spat conspiracies. Novamed created the virus. S-Shield microchips your blood. Ava's Wikipedia page ballooned with unsourced rumors. At night she sat on her balcony, waves slapping pier pilings, and wondered if anonymity was gone forever. Stone joined her with sea buckthorn tea. Waves of fame come and go, he said, gazing at fairies' lights. Be the shore. Ava breathed in briny air and nodded. 6 countries, 1,200 volunteers, Anchorage, Lisbon, Kyoto, Sao Paulo, Cape Town, and Oslo. Ava ping-ponged across time zones, surviving on airplane pretzels and Spotify playlists titled Jet-Lagged but Determined. In Norway, she met 8-year-old Oscar Gunderson, born with a rare immune deficiency. She gifted him a toy microscope. He squealed, "Tack," and drew a crayon picture, Dr. Ava and Supercell. Ava pinned it above her workstation. Week 12. 10 patients developed a blotchy rash. Tabloids shrieked, "Killer cure." Venture capitalists threatened to pull funding. Novamed halted dosing. Ava holed up in Lab 7, analyzing batch logs. She traced the rash to a contaminated stabilizer shipped from an unvetted subcontractor. The faulty vials were isolated, patients treated with antihistamines, symptoms resolved. Trials resumed under tighter QC. Ava learned the cost of every misplaced comma. 3 years and 7 days after the 2 a.m. phone call, the World Health Organization granted emergency approval to S-Shield. Geneva's Palais Nations erupted in applause. Ava, simple white dress, trembling hands, stepped to the podium. "This isn't one gene's triumph," she said, voice steady. "It's the victory of persistence, teamwork, and love strong enough to resurrect itself after 20 silent years." Stone, front row, wiped tears. Journalists captured the embrace that followed. Father and daughter, fractured history mended in a public heartbeat. Ava bought the old Plasma Center on Pine Avenue for $1 and a handshake. Renovations replaced peeling paint with sunrise orange walls, squeaky recliners with memory foam chairs. A cafe-style recovery lounge offered hot cocoa, phone chargers, and free comics. A plaque by the door reads, "One donation changed the world. Yours could be next." Local high schoolers snapped selfies beneath it after giving blood. The hashtag #NextAva trends every semester. Jefferson Hall is gone, replaced by the Brooks Stone BioFuture Center. Glass classrooms, rooftop apiary, student-run biotech incubator. At the ribbon cutting, Timber Creek's mayor asked why she came home. Ava glanced at the flickering streetlight where she'd found the flyer years ago. "Because a small town gave me a huge chance," she said. "I'm here to make sure the next kid gets one too." Maya, now an investigative reporter for the Seattle Times, elbowed Ava. Powdered egg scandal was nothing compared to this. If you've watched this far, remember, one seemingly tiny choice, donating plasma, calling an old friend, holding the elevator, can launch a chain reaction that saves lives. Tell us in the comments what you'd do if life handed you a second chance. And stick around. The next impossible story might be yours. On a bluff above the Pacific, Ava and Richard Stone watch gulls wheel under a sky rippling with emerald aurora, a freak geomagnetic storm visible this far south. Stone, whispering, "See that?" Ava, smiling, compass pendant glinting, "Looks like a beginning, not an ending." A wind gust rattles driftwood. Ava presses her feet into the sand, anchoring herself to the shore, steady, enduring, while waves of fame, fortune, and the future surge and retreat in endless rhythm. That's the end of our story. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Your feedback means a lot to us.